The question of your life needs to become, is this helping me or is this hindering me? And I do say that you have been terrified to ask yourself this question because you know that if you do and you answer with full honesty, full transparency with yourself, you will have to admit and acknowledge that most of the people who are in your orbit currently cannot come with you to this next chapter. And it is because the truth is that it can't be neither. If you ask yourself this question, it has to be one or the other. Because if someone is not helping, it's not helping you reach your goals, it's not bringing you to your highest potential, then the only thing it possibly can be doing is hindering you or blocking you. And I think we have this idea that neutrality means, like, it's good to let go of very polarized dual thinking. This is a good thing. But when we do this, sometimes then we assume that we can keep neutral people within our life. And humans do operate on a spectrum. No human is just good or bad. And the people you love are going to have times when they act out of character, but at the end of the day, if all it is nothingness, there's no point, there's no intention, they cannot come with you. And that's not to say that as soon as your friend goes through something tough, you abandon them. Of course not. But it's just like, if this is a meaningless connection, then it's not for me. And that scares you because in a lot of ways, if you start being really honest about the lack of substance in your relationships, you know that you'll end up alone for a period. And I think that's where some of your power will come, is knowing that, like, getting over this fear, because yes, we're not meant to be an island. We're not supposed to be so hyper independent and individualistic. But I can see that you could do with a little bit of that. A little bit of healthy independency. You don't need to be so codependent with the people in your life, especially if the people in your life are not living the lives that you want to be living. If they're not going where you're going, and again, they're not contributing in any way, shape, or form, then it's time to give them the boot. And you can do this with love. You can do this with grace. It doesn't have to be some dramatic friendship breakup or falling out. You can do this in a way that's really beautiful, actually. It's just closing a chapter so that you can move into the next one. And that can be done with a lot of respect and love and almost celebration and appreciation of the person they are and the friendship that you were able to have. I'm thinking of when I was in beauty school, I had a lot of girls that I was friends with, and they weren't necessarily bad. That's like, they were really special girls. I loved my time with them, but it just didn't have substance in the way that I was desiring for myself and for my life. We just would go out and drink together and talk about boys, which is all fun and necessary, but if that's all that it is, then it's actually hindering you from where you're meant to go and where you're meant to grow. Ooh, we got cards coming out. Let's see what we have. Oh, okay. Ace of Wands reversed. And that one was scared to come out. Okay. The people in your life have not lit your fire in a very long time. And it's this thing of almost, you've been questioning whether you're an extrovert or an introvert. And you know that you're not an introvert. You never have been. You do get your energy from being around like-minded people who inspire you, people who are creative and have big goals and dreams and visions. This gives you so much life and, puts a fire under your booty because you want to be on the same level as them. Like, it's a little bit, you're competitive, so you need other people in your life to spur you on and motivate you to work on your goals. But with it being reversed, it shows that the people in your life are not motivating you. And when you spend time with them, oh my gosh, there's a really big bird of prey. Yeah, you're supposed to get a bird's eye view of this situation. And right now it seems like it's really big and like nothing good can come from it. Nothing good can come from being alone. But your future self is looking back like, honey, if you knew the people that we associate with now, the connections in our life now. And it's also like, I think maybe you have this idea that you can keep these lackluster friendships and connections in your life and you'll just grow from here and get new friends and just expand your circle. But when it comes to manifesting specific people into your life, there is a stage in that manifestation process where you have to clear space. You have to make room for, because relationships take time. They take time, energy, and effort. And unfortunately, these things are limited. I don't think our love is limited. Our capacity to feel love for other people is, of course, not limited. But when it comes to those close like your inner circle, those things do require you to give something of yourself. And so if you're trying to call in new people into your life, people who are on the same wavelength as you have to clear space for them. You have to make room for them to come into your life. And if you're boggled down by surface level friendships, shallow friendships, I also see you might be, there's a lot of people who do this, so I'm not judging, it's just a very human thing and something for you to be aware of about yourself. Is I do see that you're one of those people who is afraid of alone time, in this, like, you just distract yourself from being alone with your thoughts by the people that you have in your life. Like, you kind of use the people to distract you from your own thoughts. Because if you were alone with your thoughts, then you would have to start asking the big questions and uncovering where your desires in your heart truly lie. And that scares you because you know that nothing in your current reality aligns with the inner fire that you have. So you just fill your time with people, any people. You'll hang out with literally anyone. And I think you've had a lot of pride around that. Like, you see yourself as like a social butterfly and everybody likes me and I don't have any like problems with anybody. And sometimes it's good that you're not everyone's cup of tea. You do not have to be everyone's cup of tea. But you're doing this because you're avoiding yourself and you're avoiding this new path of purpose that you're being called to. And if you were alone, you'd have to answer that call to your soul's purpose. And that, okay, so we have the moon and oh the moon and Ace of Cups. And this is what I'm talking with the Ace of Cups. This is something heart fulfilling coming in. Ooh, and the moon, I do feel, is what I'm talking about, of clearing space. And I'm getting like the image of Noah's Ark and the flood and building this ship even though you've never seen rain before. And yeah, you're supposed to be doing the work now, building that big boat for this rain that you don't even know. I think maybe you don't even fully believe that the type of connections you want are truly out there. Like, maybe you think, and that's, the moon is giving me this almost self-sabotaging belief that you could never be understood. It's kind of like, and maybe you are quirky and you are unique and you are different and it is maybe difficult. Like, you're this beautiful person that has a multifaceted person that has so many different characteristics and qualities and so many different unique interests and hobbies. And so it probably does feel like almost impossible for someone to come in who will see all of this and really enjoy it and like be on the same level as you. And that's something you've never, like, maybe you have had people who loved you, but they loved you in spite of who you were, not because of who you are. And they loved you even though they couldn't see you clearly. Again, with that moon, they loved you even though they couldn't see you clearly. But you desire this like overwhelming love, this like which people can love you without seeing all of you. But I see that some of your desire is to be fully seen and appreciated for all that you are. And it's going to take very special people, very unique, like just special people to be able to uncover all the layers of you. And I just want you to know that those people are out there and they're feeling the same way. They need someone like you within their life. They need it. Like they're doing the same thing, and they're asking these questions too. Like they're trying to clear space for you to come into their life. This is also, I just need to put this out there. This is not just romantic. It could be romantic, but I am just really picking up on a desire for deep, soulful friendship and companionship and people who are going to be in your corner and willing to do life with you. And I think that's something you've never had before. You've had to walk this path completely on your own up until this point. Oh, okay. Oh, goodness. Okay. So we've got a couple different messages coming out. The cards were feeling really excited. So first we have the Four of Cups and the Sun, both reversed. So again, like, to me, this is blocking a blessing in a way. And we can see in the Four of Cups, you're focusing on the connections you have now and how empty they are. And that's it's kind of like the relationships and connections you have now are so empty that it's reaffirming your beliefs that no one could ever meet you how you want to be met. No one could go as deep as you want to go, as deep as you want to get. And no one, like the level of emotional connection, you keeping these people in your life, it's not just a way to distract yourself from being alone with your thoughts, it's also reaffirming these negative beliefs that you have, that no one could ever love me how I want to be loved, or no one could ever see me or understand me. So that adds to the seriousness of this need to clear space. Strength reversed was on top of those two cards. Really blocking and not wanting to feel things. Okay, so you've been telling yourself that these friendships are neutral? Like you've just been... But that's not the truth. You're being dishonest with yourself about the situation and you're giving them more grace and credit than they deserve. Because what I'm seeing with this strength card reversed is that these people have actually hurt you multiple times. And it's not just that they, love you even though they can't see you. They've made you feel very unloved in how they've behaved. And so it's not just a neutral connection, it's actually a negative connection. And you're kind of like talking yourself out of ending the friendships, maybe because you don't want to be alone with your thoughts. And you're almost telling yourself that you're a good person because of it. Like, I'm a good friend, I'll forgive anything. But yeah, they've made you feel very unloved, and you've had to have like a lot of dignity and strength to keep these friendships in the first place. The reason why they're so blocked and lackluster and like not contributing, not helping, like we were talking in the beginning, is because, people hurt you one too many times, and then they don't want to hear you when you voice your feelings or your concerns, or they hear you but don't validate you. You've had to like put armor on and have a very thick skin with these people. And of course you're not going to be seen at this point because you have armor on. Like, you're literally wearing a mask and a helmet to protect yourself around these people. So yeah, you're self-sabotaging on so many different levels, and I hope this reading is helping you come to terms with that and helping you be able to see that, because yeah, you don't deserve that, and you are a very beautiful, loving friend. And again, I feel such a yearning and a pining and a longing for emotional intimacy and connection with the people in your life. But they just cannot they cannot meet you at the capacity that you are able to meet other people. And because of this, it's resulted in a lot of hurt to you. I feel like these people, it hasn't affected them negatively. If anything, they're still benefiting. If, like, the friendship, if we're asking, is this helping or hindering, it's still helping them. They're not being hindered by it at all because you're pouring into them. You're giving them everything. So of course they're going to keep you around as long as they can. Even if, you know, they don't fully get you or understand you, or even if your quirky ways. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. The next 3 cards. Okay. So we have the 6 of Swords, making, you know, a mental decision to leave something behind. And you can be sad about this. I mean, this cloak and covering yourself and protecting yourself shows a little bit of sadness. It's not necessarily a happy ending. But then we have the Star. So you come into this time where you get to develop yourself, your relationship with the self, and also your gifts and abilities. And the Star is all about being seen. Being completely and utterly seen and recognized and praised and celebrated for who you are. So this alone time is meant to help you configure your true form. And that's, I think you haven't, because you've been in these relationships where you had to have all that armor up, it affected your relationship with yourself as well, because you haven't been, there's so many parts of you that you just kind of like ignored or turned the dial down on. So you haven't been able to even like perfect your human's character and persona. And that's your coming, this alone time is so you can have true self-exploration and become a star. Work on, you know, your alter egos, and those I mean, they're a part of you, right? But really think about who you are and don't turn any of it down. This is like full vibrancy. Like, a star doesn't decide, okay, I'm not going to shine bright today, and like, stars just shine every single day. And after this, you know, this uncovering of your light, I'm also hearing like, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And like, hiding it under a bush, like, we're not gonna hide it away, we're gonna let it shine. Once you're able to do that, you come into the 3 of Cups, which is the friendship card, and the friends who are going to celebrate you in your wins and want you to grow, and who want to see you win and thrive, because they know that you guys are better together, you're stronger together. And because of these friendships, it's going to launch you into your future. It's like, yes. And you're pulling these people in because of your authenticity and your brightness as that star that you are. Wow. It's a very lovely reading. Let's see if we have... Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. It's just reiterating some of the things I just said, but different cards to say it. So Ace of Swords and the 8 of Cups. So leaving one life behind is going to lead to a new, almost like, concept of reality and concept of who you are. Like, it's leading to mental freshness, like new ideas about life and about yourself and how your energy interacts with other people's energy and who you are within this big collective. It's new ideas about that. And then it's going to lead to 2 of Cups. So, and this, I mean, I wanted to say it wasn't romantic, but when you're becoming the truest and most authentic version of yourself, it's only a matter of time before you start calling in like a divine partnership as well, because that authenticity is a magnet and it magnetizes people who will get it. So maybe there is a little bit of manifesting love here too. I believe that is the end of the reading. If this has resonated with you and you've enjoyed spending this time with me, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I also do personal readings. You can book them at stan.store/AvaAlanna. I hope this message has, I don't know, given you some insight and also hope for what your connections and circle and relationships can look like. I'm wishing you all the best. Have a beautiful day.